Welcome to The Journey Home, a comprehensive discussion on the power of planning by compassion and choices. We are excited for this event for you all today. This event has been a collaboration with our African American Leadership Council. We have so many folks attending virtually and online. We just want to thank everyone for showing up.
Welcome to the summit where the crossroads in compassion and choices guide us towards a brighter future. Today we gather as advocates, leaders, change makers, bound by our shared dedication to advance equitable, compassionate end-of-life planning within the African American community.
There really is power in planning, and there's peace in planning, and that's why we're here today, so we can hear about the different elements that really go into us being prepared for end of life.
In so many areas of the work and our world, it seems overwhelming. How will we do something that results in change?
Today we are privileged to talk with our village. Did you hear what I just said? With our village. We have a panel of partners who will shed light on this vital subject, and we will also explore the incredible work of compassion and choices, an organization dedicated to ensuring that individuals have the power to chart their own course when it comes to end-of-life decisions now.
A few years ago, we've had the opportunity to partner with Compassion and Choices. The overall goal is to be able to make a tremendous impact on how people live their lives, more importantly, knowing what options are available to them.
We as a family were blessed not to have that anxiety because we kind of knew everything to do, including what color my mother wanted to be buried in.
And this, I realized, was just as important, even more so, is being prepared or planning for the end of life.
But what we don't do is we don't have a true conversation with our healthcare providers to get a true understanding of what is really going on.
And here's the wonderful thing. The more we talk about death, the easier it becomes to talk about death.
Culture is heavily influenced on how individuals communicate with themselves as well as their loved ones in regards to end-of-life care.
I see beautiful hairstyles, I see locks, I see natural hair, I see our makeup, and unfortunately, caring for Black bodies in standard mortuary science education is not a part of that curriculum.
When we're asking patients and families to fill out things like this, it's an enormous amount of suffering, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, and that's something that we can fix that.
If you are the life partner or adult child or the parent of the loved one who is terminally ill, end-of-life planning is going to be part of your anticipatory grief journey. And so what I'm here to do today is actually to introduce you to a 10-minute relaxation pause experience that I introduce to my clients who are walking through this journey.
Be strong and courageous and do the work that you're called to do. It takes courage to be public about problems you can't hide, courage to smile through a devastating diagnosis and then live in spite of the prognosis. What will you add to the powerful play of life?
How do we prepare for the journey home? We don't want to wait until after the fact. How do we think about it broadly?
Part of our poverty is a function of our inability to deal with transfer of wealth, transfer of income. And so guess what? If you leave no will, guess who gets it? The people that you cannot stand. The government gets it.
I remember growing up as a kid and hearing the grandparents say, oh, I don't want them in my business. I don't want you to know my stuff. And inevitably what ends up happening, all of those things that you mentioned earlier that we work very hard for is lost.
So many people ask me, how can you talk about death and dying professionally all day long? But really talking about death is talking about life. Yeah. Talking about our story, our values, our priorities, and our faith.
As people of African traditions, African culture, heritage, and lineage, we were taught by the white folks who enslaved us and then enforced Jim Crow segregation against us and all of the things, right? I'm all for us all coming together, holding hands and singing Kumbaya, but we got to deal with history for what it is.
Church was the place where we got honor. You had to wear a maid's uniform and a porter's uniform all weekend. If we come to the table with that same sense of reverence for each other, we listen. And when those alerts go up, I've got information for you, people will grab hold to it like it's lotto ticket.
But my first prostate exam was at a health fair at my church in the gym 20 years ago. But there are some health ministries, but we need more of them, and there are more who can help others to do the essential work in our communities.
What we have to do now is be able to disseminate this information that Compassion Choices has given us, that Kim has given us, that Brandy and Donna and them have all provided for us. Get that information out.
We appreciate your time, we appreciate your finances, anything you can contribute to our organization, we are grateful for. So thank you all so much for coming, and lots more to come. Thank you.